I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that.
Hello, ladies. Okay, should I start again?
Doesn't matter, I can just mute me.
All right, well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the At Random podcast. I am your host of this evening. My name is Andy. And as always, I'm joined by the lovely Alejandra. How are you, baby girl?
Hello.
Hello. There you go.
To be honest, I'm tired.
What was that, English?
To be honest, I'm tired. I said.
You're tired. All right. Well, do you want to go to sleep instead of doing the podcast? Do you want to sleep while I'm recording with Alex?
If she did
Don't
that,
tempt me.
she'll be sleeping for eternity. You're either in or you're out on this thing.
You can say whatever you want. The episodes that you and me did were fucking good.
Yeah.
I still think about the stories we did. Oh, yeah. And by the way, this is
Story time.
Alex, the third
Yep.
co-host of the show.
What's up?
We did some stories a while back, and they were fucking hilarious. For like, what was it again that he needed to go get? It was like Pokemon cards, like chicken wings or something that he needed to go.
Corn dogs.
Corn dogs. Yeah.
And you had to like fight in Walgreens or something. Oh, that was great.
Best
That's like episode 7 or 8 or
highest
something. I think it's called-
highest downloads ever in podcast
It's amazing.
history. Yeah, it is absolutely. All right, so you might wonder what we're going to talk about because I think that I lied to you guys. Well, I didn't lie to you guys. I'm actually planning. I said I would do a certain episode to you guys, but then I got distracted because that's just the way my mind works. One moment I'm trying to poop, the other I'm masturbating somewhere.
We've all
So,
been there.
yeah. No, I got distracted because I saw something very peculiar in the news. So around last week, Friday, Saturday-ish, I saw this message appear on my newspaper side of my laptop that apparently the Pentagon is gonna release a paper on the existence of vehicles or crafts not made on this world. Which, first of all, I want to go over that with you. I fucking hate the fact that they're not using the term UFO. They started calling them, and I'm not shitting you, vehicles not made on this world. I'm like, so
Venoms? Vehicles, not Venoms.
Venomums.
Venoms.
But
Rolls off the
the thing
tongue.
is, they discredited people who said this shit was real for so long that they now cannot use the word anymore that they come up with to begin with.
Yeah, I still think maybe it doesn't mean that some people didn't fake it though, because they could be completely different vehicles and everything. Like, not just a fucking flying round thing.
No. We're talking about flying objects, basically. A couple of years ago, a video was released by the U.S. Air Force, like the Air Force part of the Army. Now, the video contained a craft that was flying at speeds no human airplane can reach up to. And for a couple of years, I think 2 or 3 years, this video was speculated to be real. One of the realest videos out there. Even Reddit had huge discussions about this and about the fact, like, oh, is this actually a UFO? Because, like, there were Air Force individuals on Reddit saying, like, I work for the Air Force. This is genuine. This is real. Those are our cockpits. This is what we see in the cockpit. So this is genuine. This is genuine footage. So it's been floating around there, and like, of course, the fucking UFO community was horny again, shooting their jizz ropes all over this footage because they just love anything that sort of resembles reality. But as they often do, which is the biggest problem, there, again, for the so manyth time, there was disinformation. Now, this is something the American government especially, is so fucking good at. It's basically just pointing at a person and laughing. When they decided to release the footage as being real, they had a little bit of a problem because nobody was listening anymore. But basically what happened, a while back, the CIA, the FBI released the said footage. It's basically a cockpit showing an aircraft going tremendous speeds, but the way it accelerates, it's not about the actual speed, it's about the way it accelerates. It's go from like a 0 to 5 Mach or something. Yeah, it's fucking incredible.
Yeah,
they're saying that 1, it defies the laws of nature, the way it moves around, and 2, it reaches speeds we don't understand or know or are capable of creating. So they release this footage and they say like, hey, look, this is actual genuine footage from one of our pilots. We need everybody to look at this and we need to figure out what this is. So they release it to the public. Of course, ufologists are fucking... Now they're not just shooting ropes, they're just collecting their cum in buckets at this point.
I love
they're
that
just
name,
fucking...
ufologist.
Yeah.
Like they're some sort of geologist of spaceships.
That's a genuine fucking term, by the way. A ufologist is a genuine fucking... And for
this is
some
a dude who's like, I'm a ufologist. I want to sound
for
important.
some very poor people out there, it's actually a job as well. So...
Oh my god.
Yeah. But so they release the footage, they throw it into the main thing. Of course, every government branch at this point has access to it as well, and they get to investigate it. Which, you know, we all know at this point, Project Blue Book. If you don't know what it is, go look it up. It's the American Army or like a secret branch of the CIA or FBI, I can't remember, made Project Blue Book. It's a project that was to determine if certain visions and like if certain things people saw, if certain events were real, they needed to go investigate it. The second part of Project Blue Book was to
Why is it so hard to say Blue Book?
I don't know. It's my Belgium tongue. My tongue is very thick in my mouth these days.
He speaks many languages. He gets confused.
I know. Sorry. That was a rude comment because I'm not the best at enunciating things either.
I don't know if
You're
I
racist,
want to
lady.
do. I don't know if I want to do this podcast anymore at this point. Can you say? God, what was that word? I always thought you said so weirdly sexy. I can't remember. It was something with an S in it. It sounded. I can't remember.
S.
Yeah, no. It'll.
Amazing.
One day. Amazing. Yeah, that was it. That was the one. I just imagine you sucking on Cherry's cock or Alex's cock. Ali, that is amazing. And Alex just looking down at you. Shut up, Batman. Slap her on the face. All right.
Hey, if she's talking, she ain't sucking. All right.
Jesus
All right.
Christ.
So the Project Blue Book. Project Blue Book was basically created to, one, discover the reality of the situation, investigate fucking sightings, UFO sightings, alien sightings, of the first to third to fourth to fifth kind, all and so on and so on. So Project Blue Book was basically that, but it had a secret agenda. Project Blue Book was also made to disprove any other fucking facets of that entire thing. So it was to collect data and then say to the outside world, even if it's real, it's not real. So that's how the government worked. But so this footage is now like Project Blue Book is done. That doesn't exist anymore. They stopped it. Some believe it's because they found shit. Others believe that it's because they couldn't find anything. It's been up for debate for a couple of years now. But now the Pentagon gets involved. The Pentagon gets this footage and says, well, guys, it's not from this planet. They basically came out and said last week, UFOs are a genuine fucking thing. And of course, we're all in this COVID-19 mentality and we're all scared of our lives and shit like that. And that is a way that governments have worked to release information and it not being a huge shock in the past. They have done this. So I wanted to start doing episodes on UFOs and aliens now because I want to find out what's real and what's not. If not for you guys, like this is just an Andy thing. I'm doing this for me. You're just along on this fucking mental fucking ride. If you think for a second I haven't made sense up until this point, fuck you, it's gonna get worse. All right?
Look, all I'm saying is it would be so easy to find out if there were UFOs.
It's not. Apparently it's not.
Has anyone watched Star Wars? All we have to do is put a blockade randomly on the planet, and for some reason every spaceship will always fly to that side of the planet, and we will always find them. Come on, Star Wars has taught us this.
It's not the thing. Look, the problem with finding UFOs isn't you knowing. It's the entire world realizing that there's more than just this planet. Because people actually asked me the questions already, like, okay, so what if they've hidden UFOs? What's the point? Well, very simple. And we're gonna get into the subject of the episode in a minute. Because I'm still walking up to this shit.
Space Corona.
Oh, dude, trust me, it's worth it. All right, so the thing is, they've disinformed people so well that it is now virtually impossible for it to be real or made real by any human that is non-government. Basically, what needs to happen is that the government genuinely needs to come out and say, UFOs are real, there's no question about it. People that ask me, like, why would they keep that a secret? Well, one, even though we have all the technologies to run on clean fuels, we're still using fossil fuels. You might ask yourself why. Well, money. Period.
Money.
Yeah. They pretty much already admitted that the Roswell incident, that there was something. There was a sighting over 500 people, I believe. We're going to get into Roswell as well on a different episode because I want to put the reality of that fucking event out there because it's fucking incredible what happened there. But like over 500 people were witness to that exact fucking event that happened, the Roswell incident.
Oh, the weather balloon crash. Or whatever it was.
Fuck you. So, the Roswell incident happened, and they disproved that by laughing at people and making basically a mockery of that town by having the people that genuinely believed something happened and saw the evidence and shit like that to make them look out like these people live by that story day in, day out. You know, their grandparents were there and blah, 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 blah. It's all about disproving. So here I was like, all right, I have all this gigantic ball of information of what actually happened in the history. How can I start this off? And basically I had to take a step back from UFO shit to explain to you what the government is actually capable of doing. Because it's one thing to say, oh, it's disinformation. It's an entirely different thing to prove that how real disinformation is. If you are a person that believes genuinely and wholeheartedly that your governments don't lie to you, then you are sorely mistaken.
Yup.
And the reason why I hope from the bottom of my heart UFOs are real is because it would give us a glance into new technology. New technology could mean a way to save the planet, a way to save people from hunger, a way to save people from illnesses, a way to get transport to another world, which would help the overpopulation on this planet. maybe a fucking way so nobody needs money to survive, because this whole money system we're living on is a fucking lucid dream that can be kicked over by a simple fucking nudge to it. If too many people agree that money doesn't hold value, money loses value. We've talked about it in another episode. If you want to know what I'm talking about, to go listen to the other episode. We already talked about it. Money holds no value. It's bullshit. It's all like a fucking dream they've created for us to live in. And the only way it works is because we keep believing it works. So what needs to happen is we need to know that our governments are lying to us. So how do I get people to actually understand and know? All right, let's cut back from the weird shit. Let's not talk about UFOs. Let's talk about actual events in history that happened that were later proven to be fucking wrong. And yes, there were UFOs. There's UFO shit in there because I still wanted to link it, so I did look up the bit weird shit. But still, these were weird government secrets that came out to be true. All right, so
hit me.
First, we're gonna start at Winston Churchill.
Oh, the raging alco. Good start.
It's the best start. Look, Winston Churchill to some people is a hero, to others he's a blatant fucking asshole. Truth is always in between. So let's just agree to disagree. He was a very good at being bad and very bad at being good. Basically, he was a bit of a dick, I guess.
But that got him through the war as well. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But you win some, you lose some.
55 years after his death, Winston Churchill continues to make news. If it's not his triumphant dentures, it's possibly cover-up of a UFO sightings. Now, Britain's Ministry of Defense has released, I think it was 10 years ago, something like that. It was like a batch of UFO-related files to the National Archives. And among them were more than 5,000 pages, were letters written in 1999 from the grandson of a Royal Air Force or RAF member who'd served as one of the former Prime Minister's bodyguards. According to the letter writer, a scientist who'd heard a story from his mother, the bodyguard claimed that during World War II, Churchill, intending to avert mass panic, ordered the 50-year classification of an encounter between an RAF aircraft and a mysterious flying object. Churchill had reportedly discussed the matter with U.S. General Dwight D. Eisenhower. Although the Ministry of Defense has no documentation of the episode, its UFO files before 1967 no longer weirdly exist. Churchill definitely did, however, request a report on flying saucers in 1952. So, what can you derive from that? Basically, when these papers were released, people were starting to sift through them to see what was in there, because like it's history and people want to know what's in the history. Once they found that, all of a sudden that part of the paperwork gets destroyed. Boom, disinformation, there you have it. Proof needs to be out there. But they forget to take out some crucial evidence that a year or two after these facts, in 52, Churchill actually requested a report on flying saucers. So that shows that indeed something happened there. But now, they did destroy the evidence. So that's a clear sign of disinformation, because you have to prove that Churchill, all of a sudden, Churchill of all fucking people, would be interested in UFOs. Why the fuck would Churchill be into UFOs? This man had nothing to do with science fiction. He beat the Germans,
and now he wants to take on aliens.
Dude, don't get me started on the Germans and UFOs, because don't
just flying Nazis, space traveling Nazis.
All right,
Hitler's actually up there with the Elon Musks of the world flying around the the solar system.
Basically, so Churchill was into the whole UFO thing for an unknown reason. And if that was not reported by some people, then we would have never probably known. Because one document saying like, oh, Churchill did look into this whole UFO thing, it wouldn't have been that important. It could have been written off as curiosity. But now that we know what went in front of it 50 years later, or 55 years later rather, you know, it sort of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 2 on my list. Now, at the height of the Cold War, which was the most fucking brutal thing ever, the CIA conducted covert illegal scientific research on human subjects, known as Project MK Ultra. Now, this is a name you probably heard or have not heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Mortal Kombat.
The program subjected humans to experiments with drugs such as LSD and hypnosis, and some reports indicate radiological and biological agents. Now, in 1973, CIA Director Richard Helms ordered all documents from Project MK Ultra destroyed. Again, disinformation. Nevertheless, late the following years, the New York Times, which, you know, is, as we all know, isn't a magazine that fucking lies a lot. They get shit wrong occasionally, but like the New York Times is pretty trustworthy. Now, they reported on the illegal activities in 1975. The Church Committee, headed by Senator Frank Church, and a commission headed by the Vice President Nelson Rockefeller, investigated the project. They found that over more than 2 decades, the CIA spent nearly $20 million enlisted the service of researchers at more than 30 universities and conducted experiments on subjects without their knowledge. Some of the research was performed in Canada. Some historians argue that the goal of the program was to create a mind control system by which the CIA could program people to conduct assassinations, such as was thought of with the murder of Kennedy, for example. Was thought to be a sleeper agent that killed him.
I think they wanted the sleeper agents to take out their commie neighbors. Any red sympathizers, they were like, just kill him.
Yeah, but they had reasons to kill Kennedy, to be fair.
Oh, yeah.
But in 1953, Richard Condon dramatized the idea in the thriller The Manchurian Candidate, which is now, it's known as just that, which was adapted into a film starring Frank Sinatra. Such ultimately wacky ideas were also dramatized in the recent in the film with what's his name, Ewan McGregor and George Clooney, the movie The Men Who Stared at Goats. So again, disinformation, destroy the fucking paperwork. Later it comes out that there was actual fucking shit going on. And over 20 million of taxpayers' money was shoved into this program.
It's like 20 million bucks of LSD and like shrooms and shit.
Oh, but dude, it wasn't just that. It was the weirdest fucking thing as well. They were investigating astral projection, which is like when you step out of your body and go somewhere else. They had people actually hold cards towards them, and then they had to guess what it was. And odd thing was, there were some successes made in that area. They could never perfect the art, but they did have some special people there that were able to do things humans shouldn't be able to do. So again, they had reasons to disinform you for their wars that they want to wage and shit like that, and go up against other countries. So again, huge example from Disinformation. And of course, one I definitely want to do an episode on is Area 51.
Let's Naruto run. Let's try it again. All the Kyles out there.
It was a disappointment, to be fair.
It was. No one got shot. There wasn't enough Kyles there.
There were not enough.
Happened?
Yeah, a few people went there, but it was pretty peaceful and calm.
Yeah, it was just
people
like...
went there, but they never actually
I think like 6 people got arrested or something. Like, it was nothing.
Yeah. Actually, I think somebody either from Belgium or from the Netherlands got arrested for actually trying to get on there.
Why would you
there.
try? Why would you try?
There.
Of course, it's like a bomb range testing and shit. I think they do there as well.
Yeah,
I would not want to set foot onto there. It's probably a huge firing range, and you're just gonna get lit up.
You wouldn't even fucking understand the security protocols surrounding that area.
Oh,
they literally have a sign up if you cross this line, and I think it's like a 200-meter mark or something. If you cross this line, we are able to use deadly force on you. So basically, they would shoot you, make your body disappear, and that would be it. Yeah.
There's like dirt tracks, I think, sort of around near the fringes there, and if they see you there for too long, someone will drive out there and basically tell you to fuck off and leave.
The white Jeep, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're just leave now, turn around, see you later.
Well, usually I've seen videos of these guys, and usually they just come up and act like tourists, but like they do not look like anything like tourists. They definitely look like military personnel and shit like that.
They'll like snap your neck the second you give them a reason. Just boop, see ya.
Well, no list of this sort would be complete without a nod towards Area 51. The secret military base, well, quote-unquote secret military base, about 75 miles. It's 120 kilometers in non-dickish. And it's like northwest of Las Vegas. Has been a fodder for many a tale, which is only natural considering the rumors of secret alien experiments carried out there. Basically, what has been doing that actually made sense to me out of all that, because like, they froze alien bodies and shit like that. I was like, yeah. But they did give an explanation as to why they would want to keep those craft, and basically it's to reverse engineer them. Which would make sense if you have a craft, because you don't know if these aliens come from other planets or do they come from other dimensions. We don't know that, and that's what we're trying to figure out.
Hopefully they can teach us like nuclear fission. That would be pretty cool.
Nuclear fission?
Is it fission or fusion reactors? I can't remember. But, like the golden, like that's what we want to have, like space. Yeah, fission, to have like spacecraft.
Yeah. I think there's probably a lot more interesting shit out there.
They probably just want the weapons. And
Alex just wants to be able to fly on a spaceship.
I want to take my little brother with me who looks like Chewbacca, and I basically want to pretend I'm Han Solo until I eventually
and do
die.
the Kessel Run in 0.14 parsecs? Or what was it again?
In a length of measurement, but it's now time. Yes.
Yeah, but
very
so
logical,
the experiments carried out there are basically just that. They're reverse engineering the technology that crash landed on the planet Earth. Now, but when CIA veterans who are finally relieved of their secrecy vows, because they do have that is widely known and is out there. Now, they recount their time at Area 51. They make clear that extraterrestrials are not a part of the job. What they have said is that in the 1960s, the site was testing ground for spy planes like the A-12 and its record-breaking speedy successor, the SR-71 Blackbird. A group of people...
That is a cool plane.
Yeah, that is fucking cool. Every Apache helicopter, I mean, come on. Can't do much better than that.
Batman has no idea what we're talking about.
No, she's not a penis dangler.
She's a penis gobbler.
Yeah. I was going to say, although she is a penis dangler, it's just never her penis. Now, a group of people called Roadrunners, who count themselves among those who have worked at Area 51, recall that they were paid either in cash or by checks issued from seemingly unrelated companies like Pan America, World Airways, like the airline back in the day. Yep. The base likely still tests super top secret planes and weapon systems, which is why it continues to be shrouded in mysteries. But we can all go on pretending they are covering bodies of aliens stored there, like the ones depicted in the popular film Independence Day. It's just more fun that way. But at the end of the day, we are going to do an episode on Area 51 and what I believe actually happened there. I don't know about the alien bodies. It could be real, because I did see some interesting theories out there that seem very plausible. Nonetheless, with all the disinformation around this, and Area 51 is that they make it so ludicrous that there would be an alien spacecraft there, that a lot of people start thinking, oh, it's not real.
Yep.
But
somewhere else.
That it's sort of hiding it in plain sight. Mm-hmm. It's so ludicrous that it's there, that if it were there, nobody would know. And that's
Tesla's headquarters, because that's how Elon Musk got to Earth to begin with.
Yeah.
That guy came from nowhere.
Yeah, well,
he's an alien.
if you don't believe us, look at the name of his child. It's like AX19 something.
Thank God they blocked that. The only sensible thing the US has done in 2020. They were like, nope, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to wear a mask, but you cannot name your kid after like a fucking star or a galaxy or something. All
right. Next little secret. In 1967, a Soviet astronomer called for a quote-unquote joint effort of all the scientists in the world to determine the nature of unidentified flying objects. The scientist Felix Siegel was so convinced of the existence of flying saucers that he said, unfortunately, certain scientists both in Soviet Union and in the United States denied the very existence of the problem instead of helping to solve it. Basically, he was saying they don't want you to know because they have their own agenda. Now, his concern was prompted by some 200 reported sightings of a luminous orange-colored crescent whose surface is only a little duller than that of the moon, which is odd that they would use that phrase because that's exactly how many UFOs were described as. It was also said to throw out jets, sometimes with sparks. Such suspicions eventually gave rise to a study commissioned by the Soviet authorities in 1978 to research paranormal phenomena. The resulting documents allegedly make clear the seriousness with which the Soviet government treated the prospect of an alien invasion. So, again, top secret shit that finally came out as real. The Soviet Union even took a look into UFOs. So, for all the people claiming out there, oh, UFOs aren't real. No, I cannot give you evidence. But why would every government on this planet has done their own separate research into UFOs if it wasn't real? Why is that? Like, if the Americans did research into UFOs and they didn't find anything with Project Blue Book, supposedly didn't find anything, then why the fuck would any other country look into that? Because they might be wrong? I don't think they're gonna spend millions upon millions because that's what happens every time. I don't think they're gonna spend millions upon millions proving that the Americans were right all along and that it wasn't real. It's because we know that there's something out there and we just weren't able to prove it yet. So,
I disagree.
Go on.
I think the problem with humans is just like in religion, we're always looking for a greater thing. So, of course, if you want something to be real and you see something that you can't explain, it's going to be aliens or it's going to be God or it's going to be this. Rather than, we just don't know what it is. It could be anything. I don't believe that there are any other species in our galaxy that have the capabilities to fly between planets.
All right, but what if everybody thinks like you, buddy?
Then they would be smart and be correct.
Yeah, then we'd still believe the Earth was flat. Because we don't know, so why look into it?
Not really. I mean, people...
No. Definitely shots
God
fired,
for a long
buddy.
Time
like, I'm dead serious about
that
this.
The Earth was round.
Why not be curious about the thing you don't know yet?
No, but I'm saying...
It's going to explain to you
No,
what
but I'm
it
not
is.
saying curiosity is wrong. I'm saying the problem is if you want it to believe, so you force yourself down a pathway where the only solution is the one that you biasly said before, you made up before you even started your experiment. This happens all the time in science. It's, I think this is going to be real, so you make these mechanisms that basically guide you in finding the solution, but it's not actually the right one. It's just what you wanted to be true. That's my point. Is like, that's why I don't think it's real, because I think people want it to be real, so that's how they try to manipulate the way they interpret information, so that they think it's real.
I do follow you as far as you say, like, when you say, like, oh, this is just something they want to be true. I do get that. I'm just saying
I want it to be true, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, okay, I'm fine with that. But if everybody just thinks, like, oh, I don't think... Do you think that it would be better if the scientists were investigating UFOs from the angle of this isn't real, but let's try to see if it's out there? Or do you think it's better if these scientists come at it from the angle, I want this to be real, so I'm gonna look... I think that has more motivation than...
True, but you probably need both. And they'd be like, all right,
there has to be common sense.
There you go.
That's any think tank has like always a 10th guy, right? It's like the scenario what if, and so I think that's the way they go about it, is with a lot of people that want it to be true, because it would help us so tremendously as a human race. I just think like rationality needs to be in there somewhere, and like the voice that says like, well, let's look at it from another perspective, because we can't go like, oh, we found an aircraft and now it's from another planet, period, because the Soviet might have a secret base somewhere testing fucking who knows what. You never know. Yeah, but it is. So that's the thing. You do need to have that common sense. It doesn't need to be loud. I don't think so.
No, but my other counterpoint would be, I mean, surely if aliens came, we would know, because they would have come here and be like, well, we're going to take all of your natural resources, because probably like humans, they probably depleted theirs. And they're like, well, hey, here's a nice planet for us to start fucking destroying. Fuck these tiny humans.
That is one of late Stephen Hawking's theories. He claimed that if there were aliens alive, they would never be friendly to us. They would much rather be hostile to us.
I mean, that's how humans would act, right? Like if we went somewhere.
But I would we?
Yes. I think so, because we would have fucked Earth so much. But we need this planet.
No. Whoa.
And if you have supreme technology,
you're coming at it from the angle that they are in a dire situation. What if we now have an aircraft that can fly, fucking speed of light, fucking to the other side of the universe in no time? We have that aircraft. We can go to another planet. Would you come in there in your small fucking aircraft? You got 4 of your best buddies. You got Bob, Dylan, you got Zachariah, and you got the one with the tits that needed to come because y'all needed something to fuck on a trip there. No, but like, all right, so you get there with your 4 friends, right? You're telling me that you would go in there hostile. I mean, because they have something you might need.
If I can fly across the galaxy and these people like can't even wear a face mask to not get corona, like a fucking virus that's insignificant, like fuck yeah, you destroy them. You could like drop a nuke and blow up their whole planet, like a dark matter, antimatter nuke, and just destroy them.
I don't know if that's their purpose. Maybe they're just curious like us, because that would be the end goal. We don't want to go to we don't want to go to Mars to dominate Mars. We want to go.
That's what we want to do.
No, Halliburton wants to go there so that they can mine and get resources.
Yeah, but we'll probably end up doing that, but that's not the purpose. The purpose
why
of
do
going
we want to go to Mars?
To boldly go where no man has ever gone before.
Nah, that's a buzz. That's a buzz slogan. I think
they want to go there to get the resources because this planet is dying.
If I had a chance to go into space, would you go out there to rape aliens? You wouldn't, would you?
I don't know. Twi'leks are pretty hot.
Yeah, and the 3 titty ones.
Oh yeah.
This is like.
And the ones that don't speak any language, it makes sense. You're just like, yeah,
ooh, yeah.
Exotic, as we like to say.
No, but like, I genuinely, maybe my hopes are up for mankind again. But I genuinely think that if we were to explore the universe, it would be for the purpose of exploration, to find new metals, to find new materials to use, to improve yourself. Because as we said, we came from caves, we now build houses. Are houses still a part of nature? Yes, they are. Because they're made with what is in nature. So as long as you stay within those boundaries, as long as we are not using fucking Gandalf magic, we're fucking fine. We're still part of nature. Even if it is sometimes destructive.
That is true.
So fuck you, is basically what I'm saying.
But I still think we're going to end up on like a Halliburton planet or like BHP Billiton, Rio Tinto planet.
I'm not discussing the fact if we're going to destroy shit. We probably are, because we're fucking dumb. I mean, if you look at how we perceive math as a correct fucking thing, try explaining to an alien life form our concept of time, and they will rape you up the ass immediately. And that has nothing to do with exploration. That is just genuine fucking rape. Tentacle, egg-laying rape in your butthole.
Okay.
100%.
So let's say, let's all accept then these are basically alien dogs. They're just nice and curious. That's all. They're just here to like. Oh,
I don't know if they're curious. I don't know if they're curious. I think they would try to find a better way for themselves to survive. I don't think that a better way for them to survive is to start a war with a planet, because that's a human way of thinking.
But what if it became like the Matrix, and instead of an AI, it's just aliens putting us in pods and then eating us because we're at their sustenance?
We live in the Matrix, but that is a different episode. Mm-hmm. All right, now.
All right. Yep.
A next classified fucking thing from 1960. To 1965, the CIA brainstormed at least 8 plots to assassinate their good friend at the time, Cuba's Fidel Castro. According to a report prepared in 1967 and declassified 36 years later. The CIA thought of using cigars, contaminated air, poisoned pills, fungus, and a poison-filled syringe to take out the communist leader. One plot, which sought only to damage Castro's image, suggested placing thallium salt in his shoes in the hope that his beard would fall out. One idea stood out above the rest: the plan to kill Castro with a booby-trapped seashell. You see, the dictator was a fan of skin diving, so intelligence agents plotted to place an especially spectacular shell in a reef Castro was known to frequent. The hope was that the shell would be so beautiful that Castro would pick it up, and by doing so, triggered an explosion. Desmond Fitzgerald, the CIA head of Cuban operation, went as far as to buy 2 books on Caribbean mollusks, but the elaborate scheme was deemed impractical.
It just sounds like something straight out of like a Roadrunner skit from like Warner Brothers.
Exactly my point. Because this is so ludicrous that you would think like, this is impossible. This nobody would come up with this or have this happen or whatever. It was a genuine thing. And it was disinformed for 36 years. 36 years they hid this fucking brilliant seashell plot. Which is true, basically straight from a fucking cartoon. But again, fucking government is telling us like, oh no, we have nothing but good intentions. Hey, let's put a bomb fucking seashell somewhere in a reef.
Imagine getting a nice salary to be like, why don't we put a bomb right in the seashell? And then when he opens it, boom.
Yeah, but bro, it needs to be like a really good looking seashell for him to go get it. Like,
genius, let's do it.
Fucking good, fucking genius.
Oh, and it will cost $7 million.
Dude, I got a cousin back in Albuquerque. He can do it for like $4.95, dude.
And then we pocket the other $6 million, bro. Yeah, let's do it. That's how governments work.
Yeah, that's basically how governments work. But yeah,
like put another 2 zeros on the end.
As cartoonish as that idea may sound, it was a genuine fucking idea the government had. So never tell yourself that your government doesn't lie or fucking keeps itself busy with crazy shit.
I really hope you have one big lie on this list.
I don't know about...
To do with Houston and a rocket ship.
Well, there's some secrets I could tell you about probably that you didn't know.
I was just going to say, the people that think of putting this, you think they honestly put someone on the moon? Nah. Nah.
Dude, you believe in the moon?
No, that's what I'm saying. People that believe in the moon, you hear this story and you think you put him in the fucking moon?
That's, by the way, the best way. You know these conspiracy theory guys that like genuinely fucking like, this fucking Earth is flat. Always go one above that. In any fucking it always works. Like you just said, like, you know, the Earth is flat, right, dude? You think the Earth is real? It's like always go one higher and make fun of them, and they'll lose their shit 24 out of 25. I'm dropped it serious. All right, but the secrets I can tell you is Grand Central Terminal's secret rooms. Grand Central in New York has secret fucking rooms. Now, each day, hundreds of thousands of people commute into and out of Grand Central Terminal in New York City. Thousands more eat at the station's restaurants and sip cocktails at its elegant bars, but Grand Central houses 2 secret areas few people ever see. 9 stories below the lowest floor sits a bunker known as M42. It is rumored that during World War II, the bunker had guards with a shoot-to-kill order for fear of sabotage while the station's trains were being used to ferry troops into and out of New York. Also below the elaborate station is track 61, which is not on any train map. Track 61 was built for wealthy travelers arriving on private trains and has a freight elevator that rises to the garage level of Waldorf Astoria Hotel. The track's most frequent user was President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who wore leg braces and used a wheelchair because of his polio. FDR's private train included a car specially outfitted to hold his Peace Arrow limousine when he rode into Manhattan from his hometown of Hyde Park, New York. He would be driven in the limo off the train, into the freight elevator, and right into the hotel. The clandestine entrance prevented the public from seeing the president's inability to walk.
Does this not prove that vaccines are a good thing? This guy had fucking polio, so he was so embarrassed that they had to basically build him like a way to not be embarrassed and get around New York City. Like, just take your fucking vaccine.
He was shy about his polio. Oh, I have polio.
I cannot walk. Build me a train station.
I'm a bit shy about my polio.
What is wrong with you two, seriously?
What is wrong with people that are against vaccinations? Do you want a special thing built for you because you didn't have an injection that basically wiped out polio?
Dude, a fucking secret self-driving trainway station and like...
Yeah. I mean, like, cool. I mean, I want that, but not because I have polio.
My own secret tunnel and my limo that gets me from the fucking tunnel to...
He was the president. Who the fuck are you? What the hell did you get? Like a fucking cardboard cart on some wheels to roll down the hill?
Even if it's that. If it's my secret tunnel, nobody knows about it.
Yeah, but yours is like a dirt track down the side of a cliff.
Yeah.
Being a forest. It's like, well, let him go.
And from some reason, every tree in that forest has glory holes in it. Nobody knows why, but
they thought it was the woodpeckers, but it was a different pecker.
It's the road of Andy.
It's a pilgrimage. Right. Let's do it.
All right, next on the list, John Lennon sure was a feisty one. The ex-Beatle protested war, promoted peace, and once wrote a song called I Am the Walrus. No wonder the FBI put him on his watch list before the 1972 Republican National Convention, which the Feds thought he might disrupt. Terminated his visa and began deportation proceedings. At the suggestion of Senator Strom Thurmond during the 1972 presidential election, the FBI monitored Lennon's television appearances and concert and even followed the activities of Yoko Ono's daughter from a previous marriage. Lennon didn't do anything suspicious, so the FBI closed its investigation a month after Nixon's re-election. After Lennon's murder in 1980, historian John Wiener fought a 14-year-old legal battle to force the FBI to release its Lennon files under the Freedom of Information Act. In the end, he won. The findings are detailed in the 2006 documentary The U.S. versus John Lennon. So if you think that your government, again, does not care about a single person or blah, 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 because you're anti-war or whatever, is their fucking reasoning to harass somebody that doesn't want people to die, you're wrong. The government proved that it did and tried to hide it. Because he had to fight 14 years to get those papers out. If the government doesn't want you to know shit, then you are not gonna know shit. So, again, this brings us back to fucking UFOs. Because John Lennon had nothing to do with UFOs, but they try to keep it down for 14 years. It's fucking incredible.
But he did
and they
write
keep
a
getting
song.
Away with it.
He did write I Am the Walrus. And
Yeah.
I mean, so maybe he was in MK Ultra and just completely tripping balls.
It was John Lennon. Of course he was tripping balls.
Yeah, but because he was part of MK Ultra.
He was a Beatle, and it was the 60s. If he wasn't tripping balls, then he wasn't a fucking Beatle.
It's true, but maybe he was still part of MK Ultra. Just saying. Conspiracy.
All right. And one last one. Grigori, actually, if I'm not reading something right, then I'm very sorry. No, I'm not. I don't give a shit. All right. Grigori Potyomkin was a dashing 18th century Russian nobleman who intrigued in courts, smote his enemies upon the steppes, and allegedly wooed Catherine the Great. It was while he was courting his nation's comely Tsarina, at least according to the legend, that his name came to forever stand for something insubstantial. For Catherine's 1783 tour of new Russian possessions in the Crimea, Potyomkin endeavored to show her the best face of the empire. As the story goes, the pasteboard facades of pretty towns were set up at a distance on riverbanks. At stops, she'd be greeted by regiments of Amazonian snipers, or fields set ablaze by burning barriers and exploding rockets spelling her initials. Whole populations of serfs were moved around and dressed up in fanciful garb to flaunt a prosperity that didn't exist. Later, precipitation, famine in the region.
And the Mongols threw corpses over walls.
Recent historical work has proved that tale in part was somewhat right, but legend stuck Potokun village signifies any deceptive or false construct conjured often by cruel regimes to deceive both those within the land and those peering in from outside. Now, why did this story hold an importance to governments and shit like that? Basically, it shows you that a government will go as far as they fucking want to make you believe what they want you to believe. We've all seen The Interview, the movie with Seth Rogen, where they go to interview Kim Jong-un, but they're ordered by the CIA to kill him.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't actually seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So basically in that movie, which is supposed to be a funny scene, he comes across windows, and the windows have paintings of full stocked shelves and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, from a distance, like, it doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with those shops. But late at one night, he's walking past them and he sees that it's not real. It's just a facade. Basically, as ridiculous and, again, cartoonish as that may sound, that has happened in our history. A guy has literally made a town look completely different than it was to make somebody believe we have money. That's what your government does to you. It makes you believe what they want you to believe. So if you're talking about aliens, if you're talking about Pentagon releasing forms that says vehicles not made on this world or blah, 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 you know what? 9 chances out of 10, it's probably going to be true because they tried a fuck ton to keep all this shit hidden. So from now on, every 3 weeks when it's my episode, we're going to delve a little deeper into this. We're going to go... Yeah, we're going to go balls deep on this one.
We're going to make frogs gay. We're going to do all the things.
I'm not going to... Alex... What's his name again?
Jones.
Alex Jones this. I'm going to try and see what strikes more with me than anything else because, like, I'm still... a sane person, somewhat. Yeah, I still want to go about this like as good as I possibly can because it is a fucking intriguing subject to talk about. Because if there are UFOs and aliens out there, that might mean a great deal for us as a human race. It is important to know if it's out there or not. And I think 2020 might be a good year to know that we have a different backup planet which we can go to. It's like, if this shit doesn't work out, let's just scoot on over there, you know.
Move to Uranus.
It just had to happen in this episode, didn't it?
No,
actually, I think that joke has been done on every episode about
of
like
anything ever.
No, it's like every time we talk about space, that joke comes up.
I mean, whoever named that planet, just like, it's the ultimate troll. It's like a never-ending... They were a genius. I'm sure the scientific name is some other bullshit or whatever, but...
I think the guy just was named Uranus or something.
He's probably like Uranus or something. But obviously in English, they're just like, Uranus!
Well, before we give out the socials and shit like that, there is... some goodest boy of the week news here. Vietnam has banned all wildlife imports, closing illegal wildlife markets as part of a global crackdown. They're finally starting to get the picture that not every animal is for consumption and that we need to, you know... It's like it's a global response to the threat of zoonotic diseases such as COVID-19 posed by wildlife consumption and trade and shit like that, and they're finally cracking down on it. So who knows? Maybe in a couple of years, your dogs and cats might actually be safe in some Asian countries. It's all good for the animals in the world out there. So yeah, to the people who got that done, fucking great step forward. Thank you so much.
Also good to cut down on weird viruses that get transmitted from random animals.
It's always bats.
Yeah, bats or rodents. Marmots, rats. Mongolians throwing corpses over city walls, as we discovered.
That was so good. That was
amazing.
So fucking good. What if the bat that was eaten that had a COVID-19, what if his last words were like, he started coughing while eating the soup, and he's like, "What is this?" And just the bat pops out of the soup and says, "I'm Batman."
No.
I don't know. It's plausible.
I'm sorry.
That's a bad
I've heard worse theories in my life.
All right. Well, good. If you want to see us live every week, then check out the description below because there's a link there that will provide you a passageway into the Discord anal cavity that is the At Random podcast, and you'll be able to watch us live every week perform. And I've said, if we reach 50 people that watch us live for the show, I will hang out with a midget for that episode.
Oh yeah, that was your promise.
I actually said that.
Might even teach him piano. We don't know.
All right. And if you want to find us on Instagram, that's @@random.podcast. Yeah, go ahead, Ali. Take it.
No, you already said it, so it's okay.
Yeah, so it's @random.podcast, or like Ali said, at.random.podcast. And what about the Twitter,
on
Alexius?
Twitter, it is @_randompod. It says @_randompod. Hit us up.
And sorry about the weird ramblings this week. There's a lot of information out there.
Mm-hmm. We live in a fucked up world.
And
for people that actually trust their governments, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Just remember, reality is what you make of it. Make your own reality. Live out there, make your own reality.
It's genuinely not. At this point, we live in a reality created for us, and we've forgotten what it's like to be truly free. And I just hope that by doing this shit, people might actually get interested in being free, and hopefully... What if we get like a lot of people in on this and we find a way to get free from all the bullshit? That wouldn't be so bad. There's the Gaia Project, if you don't know. Look that up. Look up the Gaia Project right now. Just stop listening to this shit. We're going to say bye anyway in a couple of seconds, so why are you still listening? I don't know why you're here. You type in Gaia in Google, Gaia Project. Just type it in. You need to fucking stop listening right now. You need to type that in. Just stop.
Fuck off and leave.
Stop fucking... You need to fucking stop. Put your fucking phone down. Look up Google fucking... Dude, the internet thing.
Or if you're scared of Google, use DuckDuckGo. Jesus Christ.
Do it!
Jesus.
I'm
you
sorry.
guys love me. On that note, thank you for listening this week. Do you guys want to say something nice? Since you were such a dick, so
no, they shouldn't be listening
you know
anymore.
what? I still got some
off.
fucking socks here. If you fucking send a message on the Instagram, I want socks, then I'll fucking send you some free socks. And they're cute as well.
They also come with a free load of sperm.
No, they don't, Alex. I'm not going to come in the socks. We've been over this like 60 times now. I'm not going to come in the socks and send them to people.
I'm going to edit that so he says I am going to. So awesome. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.